This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
Hello, 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 and happy hump day to all my people out there. It is Wednesday. Can you believe it? The world feels like it. It's just on fire, it feels like today. We got Ja Morant, who was on fire last night. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies with Lee Smith from the Tri-State Defender. Oh, that's right. TSDMemphis.com. Bing-a-bang-a-boom. We're doing that at 2:30 today. 2 o'clock, we're getting all kinds of craziness with Hardwood. We'll talk about OBJ. We'll talk about LSU and the police and the cigar situation. We'll talk about the fake money. We'll talk about all this good stuff. And, we will talk about so much more because, man, there are some great, hilarious stories out there. It's just that time of year. It's like everybody out there is a little bit wild. By the way, also, we'll probably get to talk about Bobby Petrino and if he's going to visit a motorcycle shop at Missouri State soon, since he's going to be heading out there. It'll be interesting to see.
It was either him or Art Briles. Great coaching search there, huh?
Interesting. That's all I got to say. And by the way, the fact that he beat out Art Briles, I do have to say, actually, they did make the right choice. It sounds crazy, but if they picked Art, I was going to literally be like, look what the DJ Durkin hire did, Lane. Thanks a lot, buddy. Now everybody's just able to come back and coach again. Man. Nah, there's so much to talk about again, though. It is a very beautiful Wednesday. It's wet outside, but we're all alive. And again, the world of sports has completely got, it is on fire. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. We have the NFC and the AFC championships coming up this weekend, but I can't even get really to them for a little bit. I'm going to jump on them hard on tomorrow and Friday, but today we got to talk about MLB and cheating. We got to talk about baseball's culture. We got to talk about the difference in this cheating and the previous scandals, from the steroid era to amphetamines to even the Black Sox. And we got to talk about Alex Cora, and now we also have to talk about, if you don't even know, but Carlos Beltran. We got to talk about A.J. Hinch, Jeffrey Lunau, and the 2017 basically tainted championship that Jim Crane gets to keep for some reason. It's all different. It's definitely going to be fun. And by the way, I want everybody out there to remember this. Who was the most annoying person in 2000, end of 2017, all of 2018, and last year in baseball? Trevor Bauer. What did Trevor Bauer basically do for the last couple years? Called out Houston and said there's something fishy. Like every time they go down there, like you hear a bunch of hitting and trash cans. Dude, he called about it. But my man has answered with hypocrisy, and then I retweeted it. He did like Phil Collins, and he did it with like the beating on like trash cans. Just let me tell you something, man. Trevor Bauer might be one of either the most hated or beloved players, depending on which side of the fence you are. I used to, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest with you. I used to think he was just weird. Him and his dad's throwing program was weird. The way he prepared for games was weird. His tweets were, let's just be weird, like honest with each other. They were weird. And he was always bucking heads with his teammates, his coaching staff, players, anybody. Like, he didn't care. But you know what? He called out the Astros before anybody called them cheats. And then, of course, they responded. Especially if you don't remember, 2017, they knocked out the Indians in 4 straight games. And all the Astros, Alex Bregman, you had my man, the dude who can't even pitch, who's one of the worst pitchers, period. I can't even remember which one it was, but he's beating up my man on Twitter. So it's been an interesting baseball. Let's just say basically we're going to jump in it. We're going to jump in it hard because it's been crazy. But before we get to that, I want to remind you, I'm about to jump into baseball, and I want all of y'all to participate. I want you to get in there and call 901-360-8255 and talk to my partner, Gabe Kuhn. That's, by the way, for all you Twitter fans, I'm at Johnny_radio. You know your sports mixologist, John Harden's got you covered. Give me a follow. You also know that my partner in crime, Gabe Kuhn, he is at G_Kuhn71. And not only can you listen to us on the beautiful AM, the original Gangster, AM 560, but we got 2 FM channels, 87.7 FM. Hear what I'm saying, people. Stereo, it sounds good, baby. And don't forget the new one, 96.1. You can go down to Tunica. You can go to Tupelo. You can be downtown in Memphis. I know that because those are the 3 places that I am at the most. And I hear it on 96.1 FM all day long, all day strong. And I have to say, it is absolutely beautiful. Check it out. And then don't forget, if you're following us on Twitter, Gabe's already tweeted it out. I'll be retweeting him very soon. But if you go to Sports 56 WHBQ on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, any of these, you can watch us. Bing, bang, boom. You can not just hear us on the radio, but you can check us out and watch us. And it's really kind of cool. You'll like it. Maybe you'll fall in love with it. My man Nunzio, he loves watching it and really digs it. And he always sends me little things like, yo, you got this on today or something. I don't know. But anyway, point. We got to talk about cheating, winning, and today's culture and how has it changed. And by the way, we also, in a little bit, just so you know, we're also going to talk about the NFL and the culture and how Eric Borland now has led into Megatron to, Patrick Willis to Andrew Luck. And, of course, Luke Kuechly is retired under 30 years old. These are guys on Hall of Fame arcs, and they retired at a young age while they can still go. No, Eric Borland didn't retire. He wasn't on a Hall of Fame arc. He played 1 year. What I'm saying is but Patrick Willis, Megatron, Calvin Johnson, Luke Kuechly, Andrew Luck, these guys were on Hall of Fame arcs, and they left when basically they could still walk. We'll address that stuff now, probably here at 1:30. But right now, I want to ask y'all the now 2017 infamous championship that belongs to the Houston Astros, and everybody who's been paying attention to this bad boy, and I know y'all been paying attention to this bad boy because, well, I know y'all don't watch the MLB Network probably like I do, but when I turned it on ESPN or FS1 or whatever the regular channels, even they were talking about baseball, and they were talking big stuff. And I will say one thing. If you check out Passan, just any of the great baseball writers right now, one thing that is being reported, and kind of I think one thing that's being underreported right now is Carlos Beltran. I had to go back and check this out to make sure I wasn't crazy, but I wanted to remind y'all of this. And a lot of people who are baseball fans might remember this. But you know that Alex Cora and, of course, now Mets manager Carlos Beltran, who replaced, of course, our friend, Mickey Callaway. Casey's his brother. But, he replaced Mick, and he's now the coach of the Mets. But if y'all remember last year, and I want to just kind of take y'all back to something that was said by a manager about another person, and at that time, nobody got it. And at that time, I didn't get it. And I want you to look at it now, and I want to ask you, because baseball has come down so hard, and you have, realistically, Rob Manfred has come down, and I thought that basically after the winter meetings, I thought they had missed the time, and then he comes out of nowhere, and you find out that, bang, A.J. Hinch, year suspension. Boom! Not only just AJ, the manager, but Jeff Luhnow, the general manager. Pacow! 1 year suspension. Not, an hour later, you find out that the owner of the Astros has fired AJ Hinch, who, by the way, if you read Rob Manfred's basically like the investigation, which I'm sure most of y'all didn't. Basically, if you read it, it does basically say AJ was very against it. And who was the architect of this bad boy? Alex Cora. And if you didn't know, Alex Cora was dropped by Boston before Major League Baseball has had a chance to react. I still think that Alex Cora will get a lifetime suspension with an opportunity to be reinstated at a later date because they're going to open up that door because he's been a baseball lifer. But this is what bothers me. Being a baseball lifer and being around the game so long, he should have known where the damn line was. But this is what I wanted to ask all of you today at 67129, and of course at 901-360-8255, and of course my great buddy Gabe Kuhn. if baseball's culture is all about winning, cheat at all costs, it doesn't matter. Do what you do, win. If you can scuff mark a ball, if you can get some pine tar on your fingers with a pitcher and get more spin on your slider. If you go to certain teams, and that was one of the things that Trevor Bauer would say is, look at all these loser pitchers that are veterans, and then they go over to these organizations and they say, oh, these great pitching coaches have taught them something special. Yes, how to hide sticky substances on their finger, he would say. Or he would teach them to quit tipping their pitches, or he would help them get such a high run support they would still get a bunch of W's because they were innings eaters, and they'd have a good defense behind them. And I even think back when I was a kid growing up, and I want y'all to think about this as baseball as a culture and why this is so egregious with people like Alex Cora. And I think this is also why people like A.J. Hinch had such a problem. But also he was fearful as the manager to step up because, of course, they want to win. Winning is how you keep your job. Winning is how you get paid. Listening to CC Sabathia yesterday, you had to feel for him. Even though he's a Yankee and he's got championships, he could have got one in 2017, possibly 2018, heck, possibly last year. And by the way, the other thing is I don't care what anybody says. I don't think the only teams cheating were Boston and Houston. Notice last year about the winning percentage at home during the playoffs. Did y'all notice any of that? Did y'all notice how everybody won in the World Series where they played at home almost? Did y'all notice how that postseason it seemed like, man, you play at home, you're winning. Do you remember the Yankees, how bad they dominated the Astros? They had 4 games in Houston. The first 2, Astros smoked them. They go to New York. Yankees smoked them like it's going out of style. And they were just so much better. And then they go back to Houston. And then all of a sudden, the Astros are lighting up Yankee pitching again like it's going out of style. Bing, bang, boom, scoring runs. And by the way, I don't even know if you realize, you want to sit there and ask how big of a difference and how much did this affect? Did you know the year that Houston won in 2017, that run is the best historic run, highest hitting average, highest home runs, most runs scored at home. Can you so you're like, oh, well, how much could it really affect? Well, they scored more runs, they had more home runs, and had the highest winning percentage of any team in the history of baseball during their postseason run in 2017 while they were at home. And they had Alex Cora, and the only player mentioned in Rob Manfred's whole report was Carlos Beltran, who basically helped him out. And don't take this the wrong way, because I know a lot of people are going to take this the wrong way when I say this. I'm just leveling it out. And I'm bringing this full circle. Go back to June 30th. I remember it vividly. I had the wrong deadgum team one day, and it really made me mad. But this was by the way, Carlos Beltran, if you didn't know, was picked up in 2019 by my man. He wasn't even picked up. He was added to their. He was basically an assistant and an advisor to Brian Cashman. I don't even know what you would call that. You wouldn't call Carlos Beltran Brian Cashman's coffee runner, you know? Like he was I was reading a report, he was an assistant to GM Brian Cashman. Don't really believe that. I think what he was doing,
an advisor-esque role, like
he was more of basically teaching him how to cheat. And why do I say this? Because I go back to when in London, nobody ever really saw Carlos Beltran very much, but you did hear, and it was very weird at the time, and it came out with this, and it was Alex Cora who was the coach. And I got to remind you, he said, I said this at the beginning of the year, the biggest offseason move this year by any team had to be Carlos Beltran going to work an advisor role with the New York Yankees. Biggest offseason move? What? And then he says, I was joking with somebody that their biggest free agent acquisition is Carlos Beltran. I know how he works. He helped them a lot. They're very, very into detail, and we have to clean our details up. It was a eye-opening few days, you could say. The last 2 days from the top to the bottom. I'm not saying devices, all that stuff. It's just stuff that the game will dictate. And we'll scream at people. We'll get it right. And it's right there. A lot of people are like, what? And this is a team, by the way, I want to remind y'all, I don't know if y'all understand, they went over to London and got shellacked. They gave up 17 and 12 runs. So they gave up 29 runs in 2 games. And after those 2 games, again, unsolicited, he comes back and regurgitates the biggest acquisition in the offseason was Carlos Beltran. Now, can I remind you again, and this is where I said I'm going to get myself in trouble. They go back to Puerto Rico together. These guys were friends in Puerto Rico. These guys played on the team together with the Mets. They were teammates. Cora brings him to Houston and says he's the most important person in the clubhouse. That he's great at picking up pitchers who tip pitches and stuff like that. Basically, it sounded like him and Cora kind of came into this whole how we can use this video board and how to cheat and how we can get the information to our hitters in a way where we can take advantage and we'll have one heck of a home field advantage. And did they have a heck of a home field advantage? Abso-dead-gum-lutely. And you might want to say, well, John, who cares? Baseball, and that's where I go back to culture. It's culture is cheating. It's all about winning at all cost. But again, this is cheating that changes history. Was I frustrated? And some people I know are going to text and say, but John, you basically said, don't steal my childhood and not put in a single player I ever watched because they were all on steroids. And yes, all the great players that I watched when I was growing up basically were on steroids. It was called the steroid era. I don't give a damn if you want to put an asterisk, but I just want them in there because I want you to tell the history of the game, good and bad. Like real deal Holyfield stuff. Barry Bonds got more home runs than Babe and Hank Aaron and all those dudes. And yes, did they make Roger Maris's magic number seem not even magical anymore? 60 is not magic. 61 doesn't really even mean jack. 63, none of that stuff. 62, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. No, the only thing that's cool with 60 I know is, well, I'll leave it at that. Y'all can fill in the rest. But basically what I'm saying is history has changed, and history does change. We have the amphetamine era. We had baseball, which with the black scandals. We had baseball where you didn't even let half the population based on just your skin color even play in the ball game. You couldn't even play in the league. So, yeah, you messed up. So yes, there could be an asterisk almost in every single year. But this small, I don't know how long this window was, this type of cheating. But for me, at least, this is the worst type of cheating. And it's also it's the worst type of cheating in an era where we're also talking about, at least to our date, the largest amount of dollars we've ever seen. The amount of money that is going through baseball's hands and baseball players' hands is absolutely insane. And when you have clubs robbing, like if you're a Dodgers fan, how upset are you if you're a Dodgers fan and you lost those World Series and you were getting cheated on?
If you're a bettor and you were betting on these games,
like I'm just thinking about all the different teams. They there could be so many people who are upset.
I think when you talk about the steroid era versus what we're looking at right now, it's different in the fact that the guys that took steroids still needed skill to do what they were doing. It's not like when you look at stealing signs, there's no talent involved in knowing a fastball's coming and turning on a fastball. I just think it's a different style of cheating that involves way less skill.
I agree with you, and I don't like that it's I don't like the fact that it's the type that, again, it's a cheating where you're using technology and it's not something that you can, because you're on the road, you don't have access to the replay room. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have access to the ballpark. Like what I'm saying is what they're doing, you have no way of stopping. There's no defense against, like, if you're not tipping your dead gum pitches, if you're not doing anything wrong as a pitcher, and no matter what homie does down low, they know what's coming. You're just frustrated on the hill, like, what the bleep is going on? Like Trevor Bauer was saying, I throw my best pitch I've thrown in my entire life, and dude hits it 500 feet over the fence. How the heck did he do that?
And Trevor Bauer, hothead, definitely a head case, but he probably right now feels like the smartest person
He does.
in the league because he called this out years ago.
Sure did, man. Boy, I love his tweet. Well,
and not to mention, he's put it on his Twitter right now. It's actually pretty funny. I can't lie because he's got videos of AJ Hinch saying, "I can't believe he accused me of that."
Of this. Or what? I think one of my favorites.
The truth comes out eventually, and I know Trevor Bauer's happy to see it.
Trevor Bauer is somebody, again, I have always thought was a little different is a nice way of putting it. Let's just be real. But he's got to feel just as vindicated as anybody in the history of sports. And I just think that, like, the whole, him asking what's the, hypocrisy, the definition of hypocrisy, and putting all those players out there and things like that. I love the way he's done it. But, and again, go right now to my Twitter account, Johnny_radio, if you don't know what I'm talking about, because Trevor Bauer is at Bauer Outage. I've retweeted it, and he has a Phil Collins song that is hilarious. And all it does is it's a whole montage of Astros home runs, man. And it's the all the music is the trash can being hit, and it's like home run.
It was the drums all the way up. It was the Phil Collins drums, and then right after an Alex Bregman home run off of Trevor Bauer.
Mm-hmm. And it just, I don't know, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. You got to go check it out. And also him asking, it was Colin McHugh. That's who I was trying to figure it out. Hey, Siri, what's the definition of hypocrisy? Taking shots at Colin McHugh. And you got to think about it again. All the players that went out there and took shots at him, I'm sure he feels extremely vindicated. I want y'all to hit me up. Lines are open. If y'all want to join the show, 901-360-8255. We are talking about baseball culture, cheating, stealing, winning at all cost, the cost of winning and the toll that it's taken on baseball and its history. Does this hurt baseball going forward? Did Jim Crane get off easy? Should Carlos Beltran, who just got hired by the Mets, he just replaced my man Mickey Callaway. Does he get to keep his job? He's the only player that was named in Rob Manfred's basically shirts. Cora has come out basically saying that he's a cheater.
How long? Or will it happen where he gets fired? Like, what is this something that will happen in the next week? Because I just read a report about their confidence is wavering in him, and I understand that.
Mets are cash strapped still from Bernard Madoff. They're making money, but that hurt them, and I think they're fearful. And I think everybody else has already reacted since the Mets haven't reacted. They're waiting for Rob to react, and once Rob goes ahead and gives Alex Cora this huge suspension, and who's been let go of they said it was the mutual parting of ways, which is funny. And then I think he's going to come down. I think he's going to come down on Beltran, and I think that's going to smash the Mets and crush them, and it's going to be absolutely devastating. But again, the devastation is the toll that cheating, the culture, and a person like Alex Cora, who's a baseball lifer and should know the line, if he's cheating, what does that mean? And then last but not least, because I do got to take a little break, I got to ask you something. Do y'all remember this? And I want to ask you, especially Gabe Kuhn, Bill Belichick. He has been known Spygate. Marshall Faulk has come out and said a play we never even ran once in the entire season. We go up to the line of scrimmage, and the whole entire defense is calling out their play. How the heck did they know that? He said they were calling our plays the whole game. He said it was the most frustrating. We were the better team, but they stole that Super Bowl. Bill Belichick's known as the greatest. Maybe he's the greatest cheater. But right now, all I know is the 2017 championship, it is now an infamous team, an infamous championship, and we'll talk more about that. But I want you to hit me up at 67129, the text line. Fill that bad boy up. Call us up at 901-360-8255. And what is the toll of cheating, and which culture is worse, realistically? NFL, baseball? Talk to me about it. 67129. We'll be right back. Sports 56. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com and my man Chad Gatlin. Sports 56, 96.1, and of course, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Thinking about buying a newer used car or truck? Remember, the selection's better and the savings are bigger at Sunrise. Over 600 new cars and trucks to choose from. Factory savings up to $13,000 and interest rates low as 0%. Immediate financing with next to nothing down and a $6 million used car inventory. Specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000 and monthly payments under $200. Bad credit? It's okay. At Sunrise, we've got a financing plan for everybody. SunriseMemphis.com. We're saving you money. It's just the way of doing business. Covington, Pike, Wolfchase, and Collierville. We make it fun to buy a car again.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim, even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof, hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five-Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Here we go. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find.
Welcome back to a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. You know me, your sports mixologist, John Harden, chilling with me all day long, all day strong. I got my man Gabe Coon, and you can talk with him. And we all want to hear from you at 901-360-8255. What is the line? Baseball's culture. Is it win at all costs? Is there a line when it comes to cheating? Is there a line when you can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at somebody's head? There's a lot of interesting things. People at the text line, hit me up at 67129. If you're teaching, if the culture is that of cheating, what would you expect? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's interesting, though, that Trevor Bauer was the only person that basically was coming out. I'm sure these weren't the only two teams cheating. I agree. I'm sure they weren't the only two teams cheating. John, now I see how my Yankees have lost to Boston and Houston in the past few years. I have to say I agree with that texter. And by the way, the cheating makes a boring sport even less appealing to the non-baseball fanatic. Ooh. I didn't even think about that. I did not think about that at all. Realistically, a person like me, I'm a baseball lifer. I love baseball. Love it. But the thing is, I never even thought what this would do to an average fan. Gabe, would you consider yourself even an average baseball fan?
Yes, I honestly, comparatively to my age group, I'd say above.
Above average. Now, does this bother you in any way to where you negatively this person saying this is going to have a very negative impact on the non-baseball fanatic?
This is way, in my opinion, I sort of mentioned it in the first segment here. It's way worse than steroids.
I think
I don't even think it's I don't think it's comparable because, as much as steroids definitely had an impact. I thought the game, and I might get slapped for this, it was very interesting back then. The amount of home runs being hit, just who you were looking up to. I think that the players were more sellable at that time. But this just it puts a hold on sort of what you thought the Astros were. One of the best teams in the league, a World Series favorite, was cheating the entire time. And that just makes it awful.
Now, the other question I have for you is, everybody is talking, and I am one of them, and this is coming from another texter. John, you talk so much about the management. What about the players? I did talk yesterday about some of the pitching and the wins. Maybe that, Justin Verlander, basically the pitching staff, how many wins they got at home versus comparatively on the road, and how they just had an astronomical win. It's because they were getting tons of run support. Now, hitting wise though, think about, does this change your view of the little man? Do y'all know who I'm talking about? Jose Altuve. Does this change your view on Alex Bregman? I used to say the closest thing to Nolan Arenado coming up might be Alex Bregman. After hearing this and that he was getting basically all the games at home, his pitches tipped, I feel like he should have done better. Carlos Correa, all these great ball players. You got Springer out in center field. When you realistically think of Houston, are you going to think of the players also in the same light? Now, what if they come out 2020 after this firing and they go completely tank downwards? What happens to their careers?
It will be clear what was helping them.
But but they still get their money. It's baseball.
It's so bizarre because what do you expect out of that team? Everyone expects. They did the over-unders. I think I saw the win totals for next season, and the Astros were the second highest. They're at 97. But
they're going to have a lot to try to prove. They're going to go out there and try to prove that they were not a fluke.
Is Alex Bregman as good as he's supposed to be?
Correct. They're going to.
You just don't know.
They're going to 100% next year. This is a team that won 107 baseball games last year. You know what I'm saying? They were out of control. But when you look at Yuli Gurriel, they talked about how they talked about his splits and how well he was at how just, man, he could really rake it home. I don't understand why he struggles so much on the road. I guess he really gets pumped up from the crowd. No, we see that he was getting his pitches tipped, yo. No wonder he was so much damn better hitter at home. Now, listen, yes, Jose Altuve, his splits are different. He still was a better hitter. Almost every one of them. I went and looked back at every one of them. Nobody was like, "Oh, I'm a better hitter on the road." You know what I'm saying? Sorry, just it wasn't there. So basically, what I'm saying is, it is sad and it's sick and it's stupid. And they've already gone out there and spent so much money. And they went out there, and after they won the World Series, I mean, they tried to even, not only were they cheating, but they spent money on the Verlanders and the Greinke's, and they went out there and got all the ballers. And basically what I'm trying to say is, and they had a young Yordan Alvarez coming up, so they did a great job of drafting. Lou now did. It's like, there's a line. At least everybody should know the line. But is it because of baseball's culture of cheating? Do you not know that there's a line? This is where I'm just so confused. How can Alex Cora, a baseball lifer, not know what he was doing was 100% robbing from the game.
Do you think he didn't know that?
That's what I'm saying. I think
He
he would,
knew
but he's a
that.
baseball lifer, and
He
you know
knew.
what baseball is given to him and his family.
He absolutely knew.
How
but,
do you
but
cheat
when you
something
have
that does
when
that?
you have a thought in your head that winning is the most important thing, and at all costs it's going to, give me a job. It's going to keep that job. It's going to get me higher in the MLB. You bend the rules and you do what you think is going to help you get to the top. And he wasn't planning on getting caught. But I am almost positive he knows that's stepping over the line. I'm almost positive.
I do.
And
I
do
know
I
he
think
does.
he's the only one who did it? No, not by any stretch.
neither.
I bet. I wonder how many
that's why,
teams in
can I
the
tell you
league do
something?
it.
I'm telling you right now, Cora going to Boston, they knew that all of a sudden Boston's going to start cheating. You know what I mean? By the way, who won after 17? Who won the World Series 2018? Does anybody remember? Or did y'all really already forget? Come on now. Y'all are really about to make me cry. I've talked about them. Please. I can tell you don't know that it's Boston. That breaks my heart. That's all right, though. That's okay. Alex Cora, this is one of the main reasons. Like, they won it in 2017. He leaves. Boston wins it in 2018. Now, Beltran goes to the Yankees, and Cora says the best move in the offseason was when the Yankees hired Carlos Beltran as an advisor to general manager Cashman. So were they saying that the Yankees were cheating in 2019? Interesting. But now we know that basically the Mets, who went out and hired Carlos Beltran, was basically on the behest of nobody's a better cheater than Carlos Beltran. Like, you can Google it, and it doesn't say cheating with devices, but they say he picked up more pitches. He was the best at seeing all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's amazing how you can actually be beloved for, like, some time as the best cheater in a sport and get paid tons of money. And, yes, I see that in baseball. But then in football, if in the NBA somebody's cheating, people are going to freak out. In the NFL, people freak out only until the next season starts. It's just something to freak out in the offseason because we freaked out over Bill Belichick cheating all the time. And, in fact, I think he's still cheating.
That is an interesting thing because, even with, steroids and PEDs, you think about what the NFL does. They're just like, all right, we'll suspend you for 4 games. If it happens again, 8. If it happens again, 10.
The MVP.
And then the MLB, they keep you out of the Hall of Fame. They kick you out of the league.
Yes. Edelman won in the NFL. Did y'all remember last year? Do you remember Tom Brady's Super Bowl win? I'm not talking about last year, the one that's coming up. I'm talking about literally last year. Tom Brady's already lost. They've been knocked out. But last year, yes, they won the Super Bowl. And I don't know if you remember this, but do you know who the MVP was in that Super Bowl?
Good old Julian.
Did you know he was suspended
Yeah,
for
4
what?
games at the beginning of that year, 4 PEDs.
Oh!
That's right. MLB reacts so hastily to any scandal that arises, and this one is going. This is going to be a very historical one. I really do believe.
Yeah, because the other thing is a league literally that can suspend a guy for the first 4 games, and then at the end of the season can give him the Super Bowl MVP. Basically, that's huge. Now, speaking of things that are huge, I got to jump off of baseball for a moment because I want people to continue to listen to me. I know I'm a baseball junkie. I know that not everybody is. A lot of people are saying, though, this, by the way, from a texter, and then I'm jumping off saying this is worse than the Black Sox and Pete Rose.
And also, I'm going to do another NFL comparison, Spygate.
Yeah.
They were literally filming the other team's practice for Super Bowl week.
No,
okay?
dude, that's what I was talking about. Your suit,
So-
like the
so,
Rams.
by the way-
Marshall Faulk literally said that the play they had run all year.
Like I said, the historical context behind that won't even be close to what we're seeing right now.
I agree with you. And by the way, that's what I was trying to point out. Your Rams, the greatest show on turf, I feel like got robbed a Super Bowl because Bill Belichick was cheating. The defense knew the plays that were coming. They were literally calling the plays. Like Marshall Faulk and them are sitting there back there going, bleeping, bleepity, bleepity, bleep. Like how do they know all?
And
our
all they
plays?
did, and all they did was take those draft picks, and that's all. That's all they did. Patriot, thank you. Okay, cool. We still get our championship. They're like, yep. Okay, cool.
And again, like I said, Edelman can get suspended for PEDs and then be an MVP all in the same season. It is totally different with the way they do baseball. It's fascinating. But Jim Crane, the rich man in Houston who owns the Astros, he's getting to keep his shiny World Series. You know, he's still got that championship now that it's an infamous championship. But it will be interesting to see what goes on and goes forward. But this baseball cheating scandal, Trevor Bauer is vindicated. A.J. Hinch was kind of vindicated for at least not wanting to do it. But it was showing that he wasn't strong enough to stand up to Jeff Lunau. And this is where I have the problem. If A.J. Hinch didn't want it going down, but Jeff Lunau did, you don't think A.J. said anything to my man, Mr. Crane? You don't think he said, yo, Crane,
well,
you down with them cheating?
Well, didn't you see Crane's release to the press? Well, he said, yeah, you know, we fired those guys, Lunau and Hinch, even though I don't think they were the guys that really were the main.
He said it was basically Beltran and Cora.
Exactly. So I found that bizarre that he literally came out and said, I don't think these guys were the main cause of this, but yet I'm going to fire him anyway.
Yeah. Well, he was basically, you know what he's trying to do, don't you?
They didn't do anything about it.
It's called
and he's trying
CYA.
To help himself.
He is covering his own you-know-what. That's what he is doing. And I'm sorry, Mr. Crane. It's fishy. By the way, speaking of fishy, it makes me always think of the Patriots, and now Jim Crane and Robert Kraft will be synonymously forever as champions that like to cheat. Now I'm curious. Do you think Crane is going to get caught at the Tulip Brothel or whatever in Juniper, Florida? It'll be interesting. Or is it the Tulip Brothel? What was it?
It's the Orchids of Asia, if I remember, and it's Juniper.
Juniper.
We should call it Juniper, Florida.
Yeah, whatever. I like it better. I like all of it. I think it's all great. Let's all go for a party. But again, the Patriots, you know, it is what it is. But I do want to remind all of y'all for one, huge important thing. When y'all are out there in the world trying to take care of your family, your friends, your life, your house, your car, you always remember who's got your back, my friend Chad Gatlin. Why? Because nobody takes care of you like MemphisFarmers.com. The power of farmers, plus a man like Chad Gatlin who knows Memphis. Absolutely amazing. You go to MemphisFarmers.com. You will see him. You will know him. You will like bing, bang, boom. It'll say Daniel Gatlin. His friends call him Chad. You can give him a call at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Or just stop on in 7895 Stage Hills Boulevard. Or again, just go online to MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. Get you a quote real quick. Bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, you're going to be like, I love this guy. Now, I also wanted to tell you, if you want to take care of everything in your life, you go and you talk with Chad Gatlin. But if you are hurting, if you have back pain or anxiety, if right now you have a mission where you're trying to find relief of something that is bothering you, well, guess what? I found that store, Hempville. They have 2 stores. Their mission is your relief. I'm serious as a heart attack. In Hempville, help educate more people about CBD. And I'm serious as a heart attack. They're the only 2 stores that I know you can also get flour. They're passionate about their oils. They love what they do. They love what they sell. They love what they make. They love who they are. At Hempville CBD, they take care of ownership in their business, and they are equally passionate about you and the product that they serve. And they are basically there for the benefit of their community and for you. They're also the only place I know that sells flour. You can only get flour at their 2 locations. And of course, that's at 562 Goodman Road down in South Haven, which isn't far at all from here. That's 562 Goodman Road. Or if you're in Oxford, Mississippi, shout out to all my peeps out in Ole Miss. What's up? If you're in Oxford, 1801. That's 1801 Jackson Avenue. Check them out. When you walk in, it's like the Apple store of CBD. It is definitely not a head shop. It is a place for healing. This is a family franchise, and they are passionate about their products. And I promise you one thing, my man Ben and all them, they are just the best. It's Hempville CBD. You can go to HempvilleCBD.com, and you will absolutely love it. Now, we've been talking about, of course, Trevor Bauer being vindicated. We've also talked about my man Bill Belichick. Is he just the capital cheat? But now I got to talk about, are the Braves just bleeping cheap? You want to find out what I mean? Don't you dare touch that dial. Josh Donaldson's rich. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, and of course, 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Benswinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Benswinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Benswinger Glass in Midtown, located at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Benswinger Glass.
You're right. We should have done the Central Barbecue New Year's resolution spot last month.
I told you that.
That's why I said you're right. But there are plenty of people that maybe didn't get around to making their resolutions.
So you're going to go ahead and do a Central Barbecue New Year's resolution spot anyway.
Some people might have been waiting until after the holidays to face the harsh reality of the new year.
And now they should resolve to eat more Central Barbecue.
It's the one thing that's guaranteed to make the new year better. More Central Barbecue.
This is really reaching.
So procrastinating people out there, make that Central Barbecue New Year's resolution.
Even though it's already the new year.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Luke Casey, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dry Shod, and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Hunting Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlett & Dunn, you bet your boots.
For over 25 years, Sports 56 has been bringing you great local sports talk. Available on AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. With 12 hours of local talk daily, you continue to be Memphis's local sports leader. Get your day started with the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt from 7 to 10. Sports 56 middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy takes you through lunch from 10 until 1. And then, John Harden brings you Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3. Dave Wolochin and Brett Norsworthy drive you home every afternoon with Sports Time with Wolo and Stats from 3 till 6. And John Rennie wraps up the day with Southern Sports Report from 6 to 7 before we turn things over to Fox Sports Radio to get you through the evening. We also bring you Ole Miss Sports, NFL football, and the NCAA basketball tournament. Don't miss anything. Keep your radio locked in right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
What is up? What is up? What is up? I am your pusher man. Welcome back into Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. You know me, your sports mixologist, John Harden. I'm hanging with my man, Gabe Kuhn. Follow us at Twitter, of course. And that's at Johnny_Radio for me. And, of course, at G_Kuhn71. That's Kuhn. By the way, if you didn't know, he's the man who played, of course, at Memphis. Now, we were talking before the break about the Braves and how they went a little bit cheap. But I wanted to ask somebody, because I was kind of being a little bit sarcastic, because I watched a lot of Braves fans go absolutely bananas. Talk about how the team they were better than in the regular season. Washington won the World Series last year, and we were better than them in the regular season. Man, things like that happen, you know? And let's just be real. I actually can tell you something. I don't think the Josh Donaldson to the Twins is a very good, and a lot of people are saying, Braves missed on a prime opportunity after whipping on Donaldson. The Braves just have this huge gaping hole in their lineup. Donaldson's 34 years old. He was a comeback player of the year because he was so damn bad the year before that. He is 34 years old. He signed a 4-year, $90+ million with a 5th-year option. Let me tell you something. You don't do well by getting old dudes at almost $100 million. You don't get better like that. You get like a Ronald Acuna and a Jose and an Ozzie Albies on the cheap. Yes, that helps. And then you can say, well, now you can go out and spend. No, what if they're going to go after somebody like maybe Nolan Arenado? There are still people and there are still players and there are still young dudes out there. And Alex Anthopoulos, why don't people trust Alex? Alex got Ozzie to a baby sign. Alex got my man Acuna to sign a baby contract because he saw this, like how good they were. Think about the pitching that he's brought over. Think about a young Mike Soroka. Think about, Max Fried. Think about, like, Alex has done a pretty good job. And yes, I know a lot of people are saying we just saw the Braves got another, naming rights. And yes, the Braves are rolling in cash. They are rolling in it. But would you want them to spend it on somebody that could be a big-time difference maker? Or would you want them to spend $27 million a year on a 34-year-old Josh Donaldson at third base? I'm telling you, no. Do you know what that 4th year, you're going to be paying this dude $30 million? He's going to basically be like your third base coach. Because he ain't going to be doing nothing more than that. Maybe like sitting in the dugout cheerleading for you.
Letting him walk was fine, but you look at this Twins lineup for next year.
Oh, it's going to be dope. No, he helps. They hit the most home runs last year. And you add a guy who hit 37 last year.
But it's a lot of guys who hit 250 with 30-some-odd bombs.
And by the way, Anthony Rendon, Mike Moustakas, they've signed with other teams, so the Braves have missed on some guys. I know that. I'm getting texts from that. The Braves have already missed on a few guys. Dude, this is baseball, y'all. There are going to be moves. Things are going down. There are a lot of people out there, and they will find somebody to put at third baseman. There is not a gaping hole at third, and y'all act like there's now, oh my gosh, Freddie, like this was one, hey, by the way, listen to this. Great. With Josh Donaldson's trade, now you know who's going to lead the lead in walks. It's going to be Freddie Freeman. It's basically Freddie Freeman anyway. Dude, they're going to get somebody. They're not going to move. Acuna is their leadoff guy. I think they're going to leave him there. I don't see them moving him down to the 4 slot. I think they're going to be all right. Braves fan, take your head out of the oven. You did not get busted cheating. You're not Boston replacing Alex Cora. You're not the Mets freaking out about your manager and Carlos Beltran. You are definitely not the Houston Astros. And Jim Crane's just like, I have my little pretty 2017 to remember. Even though like the world around him is collapsing. No GM, no coach. AJ's out. Jeff, see ya. Goodbye. And more stuff, I think, coming from my man, Rob Manfred. But coming up next, my favorite thing in the whole wide world, I'm taking you to Hardwood. And you know what we're going to talk about? Oh, LSU. Who you rooting for? Death Valley. What's the real Death Valley? LSU. But my question is, have you ever seen fake money look so deadgum real? Dang! And then I also got to ask another question.
But by the way, he was giving it to Justin Jefferson, who's off to the NFL.
Who's off to the NFL. And he also did it right in front of a camera because he loves being seen. But I wanted to ask the other question is, did anybody see the LSU locker room and the police in there? Like, was that real or were they joking? Because I am still confused. If somebody has more information, hit me up at 67129 or give us a call at 901-360-8255. Coming up, my favorite segment of the week is always Hardwood and Lee Smith to talk about Jaja. He basically broke down my kinfolk and said, James Harden, you just like a little baby. This is my world. You just living in it. I'm Ja Morant. I am Jamarvelous. And by the way, Zion who? Oh, he's going to make it. He's coming back. So what? Rookie of the year? Yeah, his name is Ja Morant. He plays for the Grizzlies. We got so much coming up next. Don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1. And always remember, MemphisFarmers.com and my man Chad Gatlin on 87.7 FM.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Lemon Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Lemon Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemonbrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Experience true freedom in a Can-Am off-road vehicle. How? Through the Can-Am Holiday Sales Blitz that's happening now. From the valleys to the hills, from the dunes to the farm, they're ready. And they won't let anything get in their way, because this is where you ride best. Get to Olive Branch Motorsports for the Holiday Blitz sales event and get yourself a new Can-Am off-road vehicle at a great price. For a limited time, get up to $3,000 off on select 2019 models. Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road, or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Get out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. It's Hump Day, baby. And guess who's in the house? Of course, we're about to have a little early edition of Hardwood with my buddy Gabe Kuhn. You can follow me at Johnny _radio. And of course, very simply, at G_Kuhn71 for my man Gabe. Easy peasy, baby. How you like that? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Speaking of easy peasy, we're going to talk all about how easy Ja Morant is making the NBA look. And we're doing that at 1:30 for the Tri-State Defenders. Lee Smith, he's going to come on and talk about how Ja is basically ridiculous. I'm going to ask him too. In all actuality, I want to know what people think right now. We have not seen him. We do not know But we have seen Ja, and he is just like awesome, like flat out one of the nastiest players, period. And it doesn't matter who you're talking about or trying to compare him to. In all of the NBA, field goal percentage this month, he is number 1. Did y'all know that? In field goal percentage, all of the NBA, he is number 1. 61%. Did you know in all of the NBA, he is 4th in APG at 8.9 assists per game, 8.9, 4th. So he's 1st in field goal percentage, 4th in assists per game. He's tied for 7th in three-point field goal percentage at 44%, by the way. And by the way, did I tell you that in the whole entire league, he ranks 9th at 20.3 points per this month? Yeah, Ja is awesome, man. Let's just be real. And Zion, he's going to make his debut on January 22nd. But I'm telling you right now, I would take Ja first. I would take Ja. I'm glad that Ja is here as a Grizzly over anybody in last year's draft. I really mean that with all my heart. I know that we have not seen Zion yet. But do you think he is going to have a better career than what Ja has already showed?
Okay, I think it's too early to call that. I haven't even seen Zion play a regular season game. But what?
But you've seen Ja do?
The one thing that's like astounding
I ain't
to
seen
me
anybody this young play
about
that point guard.
Ja is his ability to close at such a young age. Like what he did to James Harden in that fourth quarter,
Dude.
an MVP in that fourth quarter was ridiculous.
But it didn't But he did everything from the passing.
Absolutely, that's what I'm trying to say.
The 3-pointer to the block. Like
he's the main facilitator on the team, and he makes everyone better.
By the way, that was one of the smoothest. Like I don't even know what he was doing. That little whoop de whoop and like twirly twirl and throw it to the dude and dunk it down the middle. Like he does some stuff that. You can say it looks crazy, but it's actually great fundamental basketball.
And then the shooting.
It's just like I said, the man's
the 3-point shooting.
Number 1 in field goal percentage, number 1 and tied for 7th from beyond the arc.
Like, what do you do to cover that guy if he can shoot the 3 that well?
Nothing. Plus his athleticism's out of control. But remember, Zion's going to make his debut on January 22nd. People are going to be looking for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Grizzlies got their guy, and it is Ja. And I just got to say one thing. Wowzers. And now we also have to do one thing. Whoever took the over, by the way, congratulations. Did the Grizzlies not get the over the other day? They got close to it.
I was not paying that close attention.
Or they're so they have it. No, like it's like I think they're 5 wins away from having the over.
No, they were at 27.5 for the year.
Oh, 27. Or I know just one person.
Yeah,
they
they are way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, one person was texting me, "Can I cash my ticket?"
I thought
please?
you were talking about in a game. I was like, I didn't.
No. I'm just talking about like if you got them for the wins. You're going. They're going way over that for the year, over 27. In fact, they might have that before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Isaac Simpson projected them to have 28 wins at the All-Star break. That would be fascinating. Now, before I get into my favorite segment, I got to remind y'all, without what? 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I wouldn't be here. I made that number 11 years ago. Who knows what I'd be doing, honestly. It was maybe it was 12 years ago. But all I know is when you're a man, it's hard to ask for help. I was going through a divorce. I lost my job. I wasn't doing really well. And I will tell you something, man. When you pay every single bill and you miss 2 of them and you think it's cool, banks don't think it's cool. They call you up and be like, yo, Mr. Harden, thanks for making every single payment for the last 7 years, but we're going to take your house if you don't pay your bill like in 1 week. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, how am I going to do that? 901-406-1101, bing, bang, boom. Guess what? I walked next door, started crying. My neighbor, Ron, gave me Bill's number, 901-406-1101. I called Bill at iBuy Houses. He was over there in 2 hours. 5 days later, I was walking through like I was Ja Morant. I was strutting, baby. I walked up into the bank, paid the house off, closed that bad boy. Guess what? It was a beautiful thing, too, because you know what else I did? Had enough. And about 6 months later, when I got back on my feet and life was good, I had enough to put a down payment on a new house. And now, hey, I'm talking with y'all. So remember, 901-406-1101, because it's how you deal with life in those valleys to get back on top of those peaks. If you in a valley, if you need to sell, 901-406-1101. Or if you just moving on up and you just want to keep on flying, 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at iBuy Houses. Any house, any area, as is simple as that. Give him a call at iBuy Houses. Now, let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Now, OBJ. I said OBJ. Everybody knows him as the the superstar football wide receiver who can do everything, who is at the Natty, and they know him like as a football star. He is known basically in the top, like upper echelon of all athletes, believe it or not, in my opinion. OBJ is up there with LeBron James. OBJ is up there with the big boys. And in the NFL, like if you're not Tom Brady or a quarterback, if you're not doing something realistically, because you're wearing all that headgear, it is sometimes hard to separate yourself more so, I think, in the NFL. Now, everybody knows who he is on Sunday. You got him on your fantasy teams, but also everybody and their grandmother recognizes that man. From when he had blonde hair to now with whatever he's doing, to when his girlfriend's doing lines on a bed, whatever, OBJ is causing attention. Even when he's losing a fight to a punter's net, he's causing himself attention. Now, he is a great football player, but he's also made a heck of a lot of money being an attention hound. And I think he's one of the most known athletes on planet Earth. And my question is, when he was out there giving away, quote, fake money, do you think he was out there more for the player? Was he out there taking a shot at the NCAA and the hypocrisy of not playing his players or something like that?
Or was he just trying to be seen?
I was going to say, or was he just trying to call attention to himself?
The last one, because other things don't really...
They don't register, do they?
Yeah, like I don't see why he would do that. But
I read a great article.
So, didn't Joe Burrow actually say
hold on, this is where I was going. You are such a thief.
Okay, go ahead. No, I didn't finish my sentence.
But you know what was going on. So LSU has come out and said, of course, I don't know if y'all remember this, but LSU came out and said that it was fake money. Now, Joe Burrow came out straight up and said, I don't know about y'all, but he was passing out real cash. At least I got real cash. And then you know what else? Somebody said something. One of the guys said, well, are you worried what LSU's going to do? And the LSU or the NCAA, he says, are you worried about what the LSU or the NCAA can do now? He says, they can't do nothing about it because I'm done. I'm out. I won my national championship. I'm gone. Thanks, OBJ, for the cheddar. Joe Burrow, kind of curious. Did you expect that from him? Like, do you think Ed Orgeron is sitting there like going, damn it, Joe? Or do you think he even even cares?
I don't think he cares. Because if the NCAA were to come after LSU for that, the uproar would be ridiculous.
Well, this is my next question.
This would not end well for the NCAA.
I
and not
agree.
to mention, what are we going after him for? What, $200, $300?
Dude, I think he gave him like.
They just won the national
like
championship. Let them have. They won the national championship in their home state. Let them have a little bit of fun. Good God.
I know, but hold on. This is the other thing is, I want to know. Not only the OBJ story go out about him handing out money. Oh, what's the NCAA? Like literally, somebody asked, "Are they going to take away the national championship?" Somebody from Clemson was like, "They should take away and give it to the Clemson." Like, dude, would you want the title like that because he gave money away? You just watch your team get your brains beat in. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Stop it. Man. And then the other thing is, also have to say, ESPN, stop it. Quit trying to say that they're not the best team. They just had the best season. That's also annoying. Stop it. This football power index thing, stop it. Now, the other thing I got to say stop it too is the video with the cops real or is that a joke? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, so there's LSU players in their locker room after the national championship game smoking cigars. And you see police come in there and tell them to put it out.
Real quick, did you see Edo after the presser when Joe Burrow was walking off? Did you see that? He goes, take it easy on that cigar, boy.
I didn't understand what he was
saying. Of course
saying.
You did. I had to listen to it like 4 times to understand. There had to be they put the subtitles under there, man. I figured it out.
That's interesting, by the way. Like, how would you like to be the person that do the subtitles when that dude's talking? Oh man, you're like, oh man.
You ever just go crazy on a keyboard and just like act like you're typing? That's like a little bit of this. Yeah, that's Edo. That's Edo's subtitles.
But it is wild, and I just can't believe how much uproar people have had about this. And I do have to say, it's kind of funny to me because OBJ was taking a big old hit because people were saying OBJ is trying to call attention to himself. But can I ask you something? Hasn't OBJ made a lot of his money like doing Head and Shoulders and doing all those commercials because he's really good at calling attention to himself? Like, he uses his platform. Like, that's what he does. LSU in the national championship game, I expected to see him, a whole bunch of him. You know what I'm saying? That's OBJ. That's how he rolls. Everybody, hey, you don't think the camera wasn't looking for him? Where's OBJ? Where's OBJ?
He knows too,
and he knows. He found it. That's when right when the cameras got him on there.
Curious decision to do that. I still think it's a curious decision to give out money right there. Like, why cause that type of attention to yourself?
It was very interesting. Speaking of calling attention to yourself, is it fair to say that O.J. Simpson is up there as one of the worst human beings? Like, he is up there. Like, if you're the devil, you're like, yeah, I know he's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
he's joining me.
He's a bad human.
So,
but his Twitter videos are gold. I'm sorry.
I've heard of that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I feel like a
you know
terrible
about
person.
this one then.
Well, people, and here's the thing. Like, I have gotten people that listen to this show come to me and say, you really follow O.J. Simpson? I say, yeah. But they watch bad reality TV, right? There's bad reality. Like, you watch car crashes. Like, it's bad. But at the same time, is it interesting? Kind of, yes. To watch O.J. Simpson and his videos and what he has to say. It makes me laugh. It's hilarious.
I do. I know what you mean.
Hey, Twitter world.
Like
O.J. Simpson here.
The glove one was probably the worst ever, though. Man.
But did you not laugh at least a little bit about
I just had to say to myself, oh my gosh, that dude is just like, well, basically, it just goes to, he knows he's infamous. He's not famous anymore. He is basically known as a scumbag and a deplorable and a hateful human being, and he doesn't care. Now, this brings me up to this news story. He is so, like, such a bad human being and cares so little about his reputation. Have you heard about him trying to now sue the casino for $50,000 because they say they threw him out because he got so drunk and was causing a scene, so they threw him out. So he wants to sue them for $50,000 for defamation of character. Now, they came back and said, and I just could not even believe that they...
It's actually a really good case that they made back. I heard about this.
Oh, yes. Dude, like, I don't think anybody's ever coming back. They just came back and said this. It says, we just want to literally, this is what it says. This is from an attorney, okay? This is why it's so crazy.
Great defense, too, by the way.
The attorney says, defamation from a broken human being. Laughable. I call BS. We're talking about a felon. These are the facts. This is laughable. Drunken shenanigans by us? Don't think so. Drunken shenanigans on his part? Well, that's just what he does. He is laughable. This man, they come out and say, this man, I can't believe they say it. They say the fact that he is known for being held civilly liable for the wrongful death of Ronald Goldman and the battery of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, in 1997, and also a convicted felon as a result of being held criminally liable by a jury in 2008 for a robbery that occurred in a Palace Stations Hotel and Casino in 2007. We just asked the judge for you to do me a favor and please keep this case from moving forward.
I think the exact quote was what? Defamation proof?
Yeah.
Dude, you cannot possibly defame yourself anymore, O.J.
love
Simpson.
that. Defamation proof.
Honestly, I think it's the best defense.
The juice is defamation proof.
I mean, it's true. Like, I don't know. It's a great defense by whatever lawyer came out and said that. Just, like,
I love that.
What
defamation
else?
Proof, calling BS. Oh, it's a
and we wouldn't have kicked you out if you weren't a drunk fool.
Basically, yeah.
We literally let you come into our casino even though we know about who you are, right? And I gotta imagine seeing O.J. Simpson in public scare off a few folks.
I gotta ask you a question. Right now, which is more scary if you're a young female? Walking into O.J. Simpson or Tyson Fury?
Why do you bring up Tyson Fury?
Dude. Like, that man has issues. Like, on my good days, 7? 7? 7?
Isn't that a great story, though?
Bro,
What a great quote. by
let me
Tyson
tell you how I
Fury.
get ready for a fight.
And it was actually a stupid comment too, because like, if you were doing that 7 times a day, your testosterone would be incredibly low, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know actually.
Like,
but,
it would be way low.
Like, I really, really, really wish I could say the quote on air, but I can't. But I will say, I will retweet my man.
You can absolutely say the quote. But you don't have to. I don't want to force you. I'm pretty sure I said it yesterday. I said
pump
the
it,
quote.
pump it. Like, you went through the whole.
Yeah, I did the whole thing.
I guess I could. I don't know, man.
It's okay. I said it yesterday.
Yeah, well, good.
I think
They
the
all
people know. The people know.
But I will say one thing. That is just insane. Like, and the other question I got to ask, and it's the same question. Deontay Wilder just wants to know, what kind of lotion?
Jergens.
That's a real
You
lotion
can make
too,
it. You
isn't
can make a joke.
That is
somehow
really
out
good.
of
That is, yes, you definitely could.
But how about, I want to move on here. How about Missouri State football program? My home state, got recruited by them, got offered. Dave Steckel was their old coach. He was a DC at Mizzou, okay? They agreed to part ways, and their coaching search, as reported by a lot of local stations around there, was between Art Briles and Bobby Petrino.
And you know that Bobby Petrino had to think to himself, whoa, wait, hold on.
Wait.
I'm actually
Y'all
competing just against...
This is a competition?
Wait a second, hold on. I'm competing against Briles? Dude, I'm actually going to win on, like, character. I got a better character than this guy. Holy cow.
First
no
time
way.
ever. But I guess this is the thought of, like, no press is bad press?
This is straight up.
Definitely?
This
100%?
100%. Unequivocally, we are Murray State. We name a Murray State head coach in their
Missouri State.
Oh, Missouri State.
Missouri's
Sorry,
the
Missouri.
Bears.
The
Okay?
Bears. The Bears. Hey, Bears. By the way, where is it? Springfield.
Yep, Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Missouri. Now, what do they do in Springfield? Like, what? How many people are in Springfield?
So they have the AA affiliate of the Cardinals,
Ah.
the Redbirds, or not the Redbirds, oh my gosh, it might just be the Cardinals.
Might be the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think it's just Springfield.
Or
Cardinals.
some bats, some birds.
It's a bird.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
Cardinals, Springfield
Missouri
Cardinals.
State. Hey, by the way, Bobby Petrino. Do you think he's gonna show up on
He's got to.
Dude, please, like,
know what I've
come out like on Missouri State's field on a big old hog.
Can I always wonder this though, like when you make a hire like that, and you know how Art Briles got hired at a high school, right? Like, what do they expect, like the parents of the kids that are going to these schools? Like,
I don't know.
To think, like I never understand. It's a PR nightmare.
I really don't know, but I want to ask you in all honesty, do you think that Missouri State felt emboldened by Lane Kiffin? Like DJ Durkin, the fact that DJ Durkin, and I'm not trying to bring it up, I don't want like taking off all my friends down in Oxford because it gets annoying because y'all start going crazy. Everybody deserves a second chance. Okay, but like, dude, this like just happened.
But if he got hired somewhere else, you
like,
would be saying
my
the same
goodness,
things we're
yes.
saying.
Oh my goodness. if he was hired anywhere else,
Exactly.
he'd be going bananas. But basically what I'm trying to say is, like, DJ Durkin gets a job back, honestly, kind of makes everything that Bobby Petrino's done a little small, doesn't it? Like, I don't care about his motorcycle accident.
The one thing I will say, if it's between Bobby Petrino and Art Briles, you said this earlier, you made the right decision.
Yeah.
Okay? If those are the only two guys you could find, you made the right decision. You picked the right one.
Like, this is great. Like, I would have laughed so hard. So, oh, by the way, now I got to bring up the worst story of the day, and it's about my buddy Key & Peele. Do you know about what I'm talking about?
Brought it up at the end of the show yesterday.
You brought it up yesterday?
Yeah.
So
I didn't have all the details at the time because it was a brand new story. More details have come to light.
It's hard to talk about, to be honest with you.
Well, because it's a recurring theme at that school at this point.
It is a reoccurring theme. There is something wrong with the culture. It is sickening. It is sickening. And for any person in this world to go up to another human being and put your privates on them or jump on them, or to say to an underclassman, you do as I say, or I'm going to Sandusky you, boy. Let me tell you something. You should be kicked out of school, period. Immediately. You're not even a good human being. Like, are you kidding me? That's a monster. A literal monster. One of the sickest human beings on planet Earth, and probably the worst, in my opinion. Penn State, what happened during the Sandusky and the Joe Pa is the worst cover-up, the worst thing I've ever read. That is a sick, vile human being that I have I don't care anything about. And the minute that he stops breathing, I think the world will be a better place. But for any 18 to 24-year-old young man, whatever, to go in there and for you mentally to think it's okay to talk to underclassmen, or for your culture, and by the way, for them to say that a lot of the coaches knew that this was going on and that this was a normal term, getting Sanduskied, and using that around, it makes such light of the situation at out of all the institutions, I never would have thought Penn State, after what it went through with that man, would even utter his name ever
You're trying
again.
to make fun and
the worst thing that ever happened in your history.
You're bringing light to something that should never see the light of day ever
again.
And with James Franklin, he's starting to prove to the college football universe here that he doesn't have control of the programs. At Vandy, he had issues there as well. So I don't even like speaking on things like this because it's sick. It's disgusting. And some of the guys involved in this, Micah Parsons, Yetur Gross-Matos, have these NFL dreams. To see guys like this, and obviously this is something that's not fully proven, it's pretty damning, the evidence. This is going to tarnish any reputation that anybody had, and in the end of the day, I hope it does, because these type of things shouldn't happen, and they happen all too often.
Yeah, and looking at their stars like you talk about, and then also, and by the way, this is a federal lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? This is against the university, and this is bad. Coach James Franklin and former teammate Damian Barber. This is going to be a wild thing, and hazing on any campus right now. And by the way, if you have to carry, there's a difference, and I want you to know out there, hazing, we have now this horrible word with hazing, because hazing, there's one thing, when I was young.
You know what hazing is?
Carrying
bags, carry my pads in.
With my senior year, or when I was a sophomore, I had to carry my shells and a senior's shells up to practice. My senior year, I didn't carry my shells. It was nice. But when I was a sophomore, a freshman, you had to carry them. That was just part of, the process. But no, they did not put things on me. They didn't beat me, and they definitely didn't say things like that. And that's what I'm saying is they stepped over the line in such a way I never thought this would happen, at least at a place like Penn State after what happened with Sandusky. Boy, was I wrong. It is disgusting. Go check it out. A lot of great work, I got to say, by Tom Van Haren for ESPN. Tom Van Haren did a great article. Go check it out. It's on ESPN right now. It is a hard read, but it is something I think that's important. Now, we will be back talking about our MVP. Yeah, you know me. We talking Ja Morant with Lee Smith of the Tri-State Defender next on Sports 56, 96.1, and, of course, 87.7 FM.
Start your day with the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hertz right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. Their newly renovated drive-in repair shop is open to the public. Whether it'll be your everyday driver, farm equipment, fleet vehicle, or heavy-duty truck, their ASE-certified technicians will get you back on the road. The on-site dyno is ready to run all the necessary diagnostic testing. From preventative maintenance to complete overhauls, Mid-South Power can handle it all. Stop in today at 3288 Mill Branch Road or call 901-396-0710 and online at mid-southpower.com.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Lucchese, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dryshod and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Hunting Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlett & Dunn? You bet your boots.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
The construction reduction event is on at Wolf Chase Honda. Exciting changes are in the works and inventory must be reduced. Get the best deals right now on all remaining 2019 Hondas while they last. Every new car, every certified, every used car, price to go. Get pre-approved now at wolfchasehonda.com. Wolf Chase Honda is expanding and our prices are dropping. Don't miss these savings. Act now. This huge construction reduction event ends soon.
For the best lineup of quality, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive vehicles, get to Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan. Over 1,000 new certified and pre-owned vehicles in one great location. Catch the savings now during our huge model year-end sales event. Score an amazing deal at Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan and get to the game in style at Germantown Road and Highway 64. Family-owned since 1981.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train.
Holy guacamole. Coming up next is Lee, and I cannot wait to talk with him because he's coming up right now. And we're going to talk with him, of course, about Judge Ja Morant, who is just flat out awesome. Give me a nickname, Superman, but I mean, Superman's been used. Like, I don't know. We got to find out something. This dude is just bad to the bone. Again, I've said this, and I hope you heard what I said. This month, he is not just as a rookie, but for any person in the league, he is first in field goal percentage, fourth in assist per game, tied for seventh in three-point shooting field goal percentage, and ninth in the league in scoring 20.3 points per game. How efficient is he this month? Out of control efficient. He is the bomb. He is Ja Morant, and he is a Memphis Grizzly. And that's why we're going to talk with our good buddy Lee Smith from the Tri-State Defender right now. Lee, what's happening, my man?
Man, are we having fun or what?
Dude, I can't believe it. Happy, by the way, first time talking to you in the new decade. Happy 2020, my brother.
Man, we're doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, but I got to tell you one thing. I ain't nobody doing as good as right now, Ja. And, how shocked are you, in all honesty? I know we expected him to be good. In fact, we expected him to be great. This is at a level that I did not expect or even see. This is Rookie of the Year, heck, not just rookie of the year, but man, he needs to be up there like in the discussion, MVP for the league. I know a team that's going to probably.
I know that sounds crazy.
But he's up
you
there.
Look at the results and you make the case. I get it. I mean, it's wild. Again, we're talking about a town here in Memphis that, for years hasn't been ever. I mean, except with the exception of, those great Tigers runs of, over the many years and, of course, the grit grind years. But other than that, has not ever really been on the national sports radar. And so let alone had, one of the premier superstars in the NBA. And the way this kid is just coming in and taking everything by storm. And again, we talked about this. It's weird, but it's still true. You see him on the court, and he's using colorful language when you give him too much space to knock down that jumper. But off the court, he's as polite and as respectful as you want, and humble. But you
Very
still
humble.
get that sense of confidence off of him, and it's just something to behold. To be able to see somebody who is so young and so talented yet so poised to be able to perform at this level is really special.
Now, before when the year started, we all thought, even people, we were fired up that we got Ja, and Ja Morant's going to be the new point guard. They got rid of Mike Conley because got Ja. Everything's going to be okay. Ja's going to be the man, but he's going to have a lot of growing to do, and it's still Trey J's team, dude. I love Trey J. Jaren Jackson Jr., you a baller, but this is Ja's team all the way, and it's like how he took it in the rookie year. Look, Mike Conley came in, and, man, it was rough for a few years. We watched this man grow. I listened to Ron Tillery and Peter Edmiston every day take battles on the phone with people around the city talking about whether Mike was even good, we should get rid of him, or keep Kyle Lowry, or you know what I'm saying? Like, there is no question Ja Morant is not going anywhere. They're going to keep him as long as they can. They love this kid, and he is a superstar. And I think if the Grizzlies had the number one pick, and then they know what happened with Zion, and they know what they would get with Ja, I still think they would take Ja even number one. Do you agree with that?
I think, yeah. I mean, it's difficult to say,
because you haven't seen Zion yet.
In hindsight, hopefully, we wouldn't have bemoaned them that pick if it was Zion. I mean, clearly they wanted a star. But I'm just grateful things worked out the way it did. Because remember, on that night, we were all expecting the Grizzlies to land at number 8, and I have no idea who was drafted there. So, that we were even able to get up to the position where, honestly, I mean, you could arguably call it, serendipity or whatever. But everybody knew Zion was going number 1.
Yes, they did.
And so the only scenario where the Grizzlies get to pick Ja Morant is if the Grizzlies land the number 2 pick. And that's where we got, and here we are.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's become I would say, the fresh face in the NBA of must-see guys. Like, you got to see Giannis. You got to see James Harden. But my man Ja put James out yesterday. That's my kinfolk, James. I love him, man. But Ja he is now must-see TV. He is a must-see sensation. And this is something, listen, when the Grizzlies made it to the Western Conference Finals, still nobody across the country wanted to watch them. Now, people are wanting to see because they want to see this kid Ja play because they're like, whoa, I haven't seen somebody like him in a long time. His vision, his athleticism, the way he shoots, the smile, his age, everything about him makes you love him. That number 12 will be in the raft. It will be hanging up in FedEx Forum, I think, for a long, long time after he finally takes it off.
I believe so, too. And it, again, gives you, you never know how these things are going to go. And, one thing I kind of want to roll back to that you said about, whose team it is. And, yeah, obviously, there's no denying that Ja is the primary face of the team now. But we can't overshadow what Jaren's doing, too, man. The fact that he is coming on this way. And I think even between the two of them, the way that they have been able to bond amongst themselves, because those guys are friends off the court. We were talking about that last summer.
Do they need each other to be successful? Like they need to lean on each other to get the most out of each other and have the best careers possible?
Well, lean on each other. I don't know if I would put it that way. What I would say is that the fact that the way that their games complement each other so well naturally is multiplied exponentially by the fact that they seem to be very, very, very good friends. Like, you know, I don't know if you've played ball before. I've certainly not played at a professional level, but when I'm out there and I'm hooping with my guys, this is many, many years ago, but I'm out there playing with my friends, and, you know, I know where they like to shoot, and, you know, I'm able to pass them the ball, and they're able to get me the ball, and it's just like telepathy going on because I know he's going to be where, you know, this is where he's going to be. We saw that last night with with both the pass, the behind the back pass for the Jaren dunk, and also for one of those 3-pointers where Ja was like, okay, I see my guy coming, let me do this behind the back until he gets in space, and then drop it to him for a 3. So the fact that they have that kind of synergy, and again, we're only 6 months into this. What's it going to be like in 3 years? You see what I'm saying?
Yep, I see what you're saying.
So the fact that they are, I don't know that they necessarily lean on each other, but they certainly have a chemistry that I think is having a multiplier effect across the whole team.
I think, I guess what I meant more about it is not necessarily lean on him, but I look at Ja, and I'm going to tell you right now. Look, dude had 26 points on 11 shots. He had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block, and a 121-110 win over Houston Rockets and James Harden. Just so you know, he is the first rookie in NBA history ever. No one has ever had 25 points, 8 assists, and shot better than 90% from the field. That has never happened until my man Ja Morant did that. So dude is flat out balling. And like what I'm trying to say is I see his level of stardom. It's like wherever he goes, he's going to make it work with whoever. But Trey J, his game works really, really good with Ja. And if he leans on Ja, they become great buddies. These two young, precocious Grizzly Cubs could become some super dead-gum stars, I think, in the NBA together if they grow together. And basically, and I mean, and when I say lean on each other, get the best out of each other. Become the leaders in that locker room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And they're both. They're both out there, both having fun. And you know, again, when you're playing well and you're having fun and you're playing at a high level, it's just like the crowd is into it. You know, and you know you're able to outshine. Watch this, man. There was a rookie. Let me just break this down for you real quick. A rookie point guard for Memphis. Who had a great game himself, but still managed to outshine a former MVP who went off for 41 points. Like, was it just me, or did it seem like James Harden's 41 last night was like, oh, okay, yeah, Harden went for 41.
And you know what? It was.
Not the story.
It really felt that way, Lee. I promise you. I was looking at, James, and I was looking at last night, and listen, the Grizzlies, they've won like 6 of their last 8 or 6 in a row. 8 of their last 10. They've been on fire lately, basically, whatever it is. Their win streak is ridiculous. But what I'm saying is I thought last night, okay, James Harden he's indefensible. Like, he's going to go off and do what James does. But, man, he went off for 41, but they stopped everybody else, and they made him shoot 37 shots to get to that 41 points, where, like I said, Ja took 11 shots to get to 26. And you couple that with Ja went ahead and had also, a block, a steal, 8 dimes. I mean, he was just doing everything out there, and he was basically showing everybody, hey, I have arrived. I know James Harden was the MVP, but let me show you how awesome I really am. And the Grizzlies went out there and just beat up on the Houston Rockets, and I mean, in a spectacular fashion, and Ja did it as stylish and cool as anybody I've ever seen. That's why I'm saying he might be the youngest must-watch point guard in the NBA right now, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of the things that I kind of get into this week. I'm writing my Grit Grind Grizz column for tomorrow as we speak.
Ooh,
and it was interesting because after the Golden State game, I talked with him because I remembered seeing an article with somebody interviewing T. Morant, who was Ja's dad, and asking him, what he thought, his son would do at, the various next levels. And his son, T, was like, well, look, the problem with Ja's game is he doesn't have other guys on his level who can complete some of the plays and passes that he's throwing. Once he gets to the NBA and he's able to do that, and he's able to be surrounded with that kind of talent, look out. And so the other night I was talking with Ja, and I asked him, what was it about Taylor Jenkins, coaching system that has unlocked his game in this way. And what's funny is, to my surprise, but ultimately I'm like, okay, obvious. He was like, well, it's defense. He was like getting stops and getting out on the break. Because when he's in the open court, well, we get what we get last night. And so I kind of used that quote to kind of take off on what specific statistical areas these Grizzlies are excelling in and why they're so good. And we saw a lot of examples of it last night in the Houston game. So y'all are going to want to check that one out.
How much love, we give Josh so much love. How much love does Jenkins need to get for this team playing as well as it is right now?
Oh, I think he gets I think everybody is respecting the whole thing. Again, that's one of the cool things about it is because from the beginning, and it helps when, your star players, even if they are rookies, buy into it, is it's all team first. And I think, as fans of basketball here in Memphis, not just fans, experts. Even the casual basketball fan in Memphis is an expert by most standards. And being able to, when somebody's playing hard, when they're out there playing together, you can tell when guys are playing for each other and sharing the ball. Taylor Jenkins has the Grizzlies leading the league in assists right now at more than 30 per game. By the way, another team that led the league in assists with more than 30 per game for a number of years, you might have heard of them, the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying the Memphis Grizzlies are the Golden State Warriors. What I'm saying is they're doing Warriors things, and that's a good thing.
Dude, they're doing things also that we never thought they would do. I mean, they are, like you said, they're shooting the three. They're running up and down the court. They're playing at a different speed. They're scoring 121 points and outscoring the Rockets with 110. You know what I mean? These are things that this is like, again, I enjoyed grit and grind. I loved those days with Mark and Zebo, and I'm going to always cherish them. But when I see Taylor Jenkins, when I see Coach Jenkins with Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. and Dylan Brooks and talking with Clark, and I see them doing their things, when you see a certain amount of momentum on a court that you've never seen when you've been in the FedEx Forum, if you know what I'm saying, they're playing at a different speed than I've ever seen a Grizzlies team play at. And they're intimidating other teams. Like, they are going in there, and they are not just like, hey, we're going to go up there and run up and down and play great defense and shoot really good, and Ja Morant's really great. They're going out there and in FedEx Forum, they're intimidating and let you know, you ain't going to scare us. We're coming here to kick your tail. And that momentum, they're carrying that sucker through the game. The fans are going bananas. And that's basically what's carried them through this whole January, and that's why they're back at 19-22 on the season. I'm telling you, I think they're going to be above 500 before the All-Star break.
That would be awesome. And I would say this, this to me is, and I'm probably write a column about this sometime in the future, but for a long time, man, I do have to give a shout out to the Hubie Ball era team, right?
Yeah.
And this team reminds me of that because Taylor Jenkins can go 11 deep.
I was getting ready to say 5 and 5.
Production. But the thing is that, and one of the things Hubie was known for saying back then was that, it keeps guys from being mad at him because everybody's getting, a certain number of minutes. So it helps with team cohesion. But the other thing is it helps keep fresh legs on the court at all times. And so much like it was when Jay Will and Bonzi and James Posey, Lorenzen, God rest him, and Pau Gasol were out there, and you get to that fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter, and the starters come back in, and they've been resting, and they could just outrun you late in games so often. We're seeing a lot of that with this team, except the difference is this team is way more talented than that team was, and that's the big difference. They're playing that same kind of frenetic, swarming, relentless, we're going to crawl all over your jersey type of defense. But when they get the stop or they get the rebound, they're throwing the ball to freaking Ja Morant in the open court. Wow.
Wow, that is awesome, man. Lee, make sure everybody goes to TSD Memphis, read all of Lee's work, and pick up tomorrow's copy. But I got to ask you before I say goodbye, is Ja going to be in the dunk contest? And if he is, does he win that bad boy?
That's a good question, but we don't have any announcement yet. And I think it would be his to lose, but I think even that question might be too small. The question should be asking now is Ja Morant going to be an all-star starter?
Ooh. Interesting.
At this point.
He's having the best January almost of anybody in the league. That's for deadgum sure. He's shooting better, and he's playing out of control right now. And again, he became the first player in the history to have a 25-point, 8-assist game, all the other wonderful things, and again, do it while shooting above 90%. And if you didn't hear what I said, yes, 25 points, 8 assists, shot above 90%, baller shot caller. 11 shots, 26 points. Again, James Harden had a 41-point night, but it took 37 shots. Not nearly as efficient as my man, Ja Morant. Now, Lee, I know you're very efficient. You got to get back to work. TSDMemphis.com, and tell them, what are they looking for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, like I said a moment ago, I'm writing about how the last night's Houston game is kind of a microcosm of what these Grizzlies are doing so well, the categories that they're leading the league in, and why, the stats back up that they should be able to sustain this for a while.
Man, it's going to be awesome, Lee. If this year just keeps on going the way it is, and Ja continues to be ridiculous, it is just going to be a great year for you, fun year for the fans. But I will ask you now. They say January 22nd, Zion Williamson is going to come back and start playing for the Pelicans. Do you think that there's going to be any chance that he starts to take away a little bit of the shine from Ja? Or do you think it'll be a little bit, more, kind of elevate, maybe the perception of what Ja is if he continues to do what he does as Zion struggles a little bit when he comes out?
I don't think Zion can catch Ja for Rookie of the Year at this point because, we've just already seen the Grizzlies outperform any reasonable expectations of what anybody in the league would have expected them to do. Like his resume to this point, you could argue Ja could stop playing and still, be the odds-on favorite. That said, I am hoping and praying that the basketball gods give us a Ja Morant, Zion Williamson dunk contest.
Oh, I would love
that. Wouldn't that be like reminiscent of Jordan Wilkins? Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome, man. That would be fun. And by the way, I spent so much time on Ja and Jaren. I didn't even mention Brandon Clark, who, by the way, ain't playing really too shabby now, is he?
Oh, not at all. And hat tip also to, so many. Jonas is having great. Dylan Brooks seems to be slowing down a little bit, not rushing his shot, and it's helped, I think. So they're all across the board, man. These guys are just really, really balling good. So if you love to see the game played at a high level, you need to be watching this squad.
Man, Lee, you be good. I'll talk to you next week. Make sure you check out TSD.com. That's TSDMemphis.com. Tri-State Defender. Pick up your copy tomorrow, and always read my good friend Lee Smith's column. Now, I got to say one thing. This is very important. Everybody out there has anxiety or pain or something. Like, nobody's perfect, or at least I know I'm not. If you are struggling with any issues, well, stop. Don't. Just go to your CBD store, 3157 Poplar, or, listen to me. That's right, over in Cordova, 680 North Germantown Parkway. That's 680 North Germantown Parkway, or 3157 Poplar, your CBD store right here in Memphis. They have SunMed products. They have everything that you need. And again, they won the Excellence Award at the CBD Expo in 2019 down in Miami. Go to your CBD store, Google them, and guess what? Because if you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, or YouTube, I told you about the 2 locations in Memphis, but they have over 450 locations worldwide. So if you're watching me anywhere, you go to your CBD store, check it out. I'm sure they got a location right next to you. CBD is the real deal, Holyfield. Say goodbye to pharmaceuticals and hello to CBD. Coming back on the other side, I got a pick, so don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Experience true freedom in a Can-Am off-road vehicle. How? Through the Can-Am Holiday Sales Blitz that's happening now. From the valleys to the hills, from the dunes to the farm, they're ready. And they won't let anything get in their way, because this is where you ride best. Get to Olive Branch Motorsports for the Holiday Blitz sales event and get yourself a new Can-Am off-road vehicle at a great price. For a limited time, get up to $3,000 off on select 2019 models. Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road, or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
Hi, I'm Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Five-Ash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Five-Ash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between, in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Let's go!
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Y'all know me, your sports mixologist, John Harden, and y'all know Gabe Kuhn. You can follow us at Twitter, Johnny_Radio, or Gabe at G_Kuhn71. And also, don't forget to watch us at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, all at sports56whbq.com, people. Now, listen, this is also very, very importante. Now, we got a lot of stuff that's going on in the world. A lot of things that are even going on in sports tonight. We got a AFC, the NFC Championship, Super Bowl's coming up. We got all kinds of craziness going on. And we also have OBJ dropping money off on people. LSU said it was fake, but Joe Burrow came out the other day and says, I don't know about what fake money they were talking about because I got real cash. I laugh at all this stuff, but there is also something else that came out, and I don't know how to feel about it. I found out that a 7-foot center, my man Euros, is going to be able to come and play for the Vols. The NCAA has finally said the 7-foot center from Serbia, who transferred to Tennessee from Arizona State during the offseason, he's now eligible. But the thing
now
is,
go clear the rest of these dudes. Okay?
Yeah,
There's so many more.
There's so many of them. I know they finally did it, but I want to have a question. Does anybody know if this guy's any good? Because I really don't. I mean, he's 7 feet tall, but that's all I know. I will tell you one thing. It can't make the Vol season any worse, can it? But I will tell you right now, though, we do have a lot of basketball going on. And if you did not know, there's a lot of really, really good college basketball games going on tonight. Yes, there really, really are. And I got one for you. Did you know Kentucky, who I'm sure a lot of y'all know, but you're going to sit there and freak out when I say this. They're playing South Carolina, and they're only a 5.5-point favorite. They're going to beat them by 20. Can't believe I'm saying this. The pick of the day is the Wildcats. If you want to look styling and profiling, always go to FrontierWesternStore.com. That's FrontierWesternStore.com. They're open 24/7, 365 online, or you can go on down to Olive Branch right down there in Mississippi. Let me tell you a little secret. They're just a hop, skip, and a jump. 5880 Goodman Road is short, like 15 minutes from almost anywhere, and they're open 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 6 on Sunday. That's 5880 Goodman Road, family-owned and operated since 1967. That's Frontier Western Store. It is my time to say goodbye, and don't forget, I love all of y'all. Even though I'm taking Kentucky tonight, it ain't about feelings. It's about finances. Lay the 5 and cash the checks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Get out there. Make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
And if you're riding dirty, like you split and blow you. But do it real big, exactly like a player should. Enjoy your 24, do your thing and rep your hood. The world is all yours, but still we all grind. Forever in a day, the choice you make is really all fine.
You'll see